Welcome to the Proceedings podcast. I'm Bill Hamblet, the editor-in-chief of Proceedings at the U.S. Naval Institute. Good to have you on board, everybody. We're doing something a little different with episodes from the Surface Navy Association's annual symposium this year. We're often at events such as WEST, SNA, Tailhook, Modern Day Marine, the Naval Submarine League, but we've never interviewed people from the defense industry. These big conventions are a place where military and industry meet and interact, so we've decided to ask a number of companies to talk about their businesses. This episode is brought to you by Blue Cross Blue Shield Dental Coverage. I can't help myself from smiling right now. That's because I have Blue Cross Blue Shield FEP Dental. I pay no deductible for in-network services. Preventive care is fully covered, including 3 cleanings a year. Plans start as low as $20 a month. Learn more at bcbsfepdental.com. Welcome to the Proceedings podcast. I'm Bill Hamblet, here live at the floor of Surface Navy Association this year over in Crystal City. And with me this morning is our first representative from industry. We're doing about 6 or 7 industry podcasts this morning. John VanBraBant from L3Harris is the Senior Vice President for Maritime Requirements. Have I got that right?
Yeah, Mission System Requirements.
Mission System Requirements. So, John, what brings you to SNA? What's the allure for L3Harris? What kind of business are you trying to develop here at the Surface Navy Association this year?
We love this show. One, it's the access to the decision makers and the senior leaders in the Navy is better than any other show that we support. But more specifically, your question, when we merged the two companies together, almost 4 years ago now, they created a maritime sector of all the businesses in the company that have to do with the maritime space. So surface, subsurface, a little bit of aviation. So we have great interest in this show because a majority of our customers in this sector of the business are either U.S. Navy or our international allies overseas. So you can see the allure for us to come here and talk to the customer.
Are you guys doing any Coast Guard business as well?
We do. For years, we've been on a national security cutter, and we also have other Coast Guard business as well. And we're seeking to partner up on the OPC, the new contract that was just awarded. Yeah. So to continue that, we've had a long, really good relationship with the Coast Guard.
So what are the major systems that you're demoing here or showing here or talking about with your customers here at SNA?
Yeah, we participated in a number of unmanned exercises the past 6 months, both of them over in Bahrain, Digital Horizon and at IMEX in the fall.
Task Force 59.
Yeah, Task Force 59, exactly. And so we've had great success over there, and so we have a demo room upstairs so we can have private conversations with the customer, both allies and U.S. Navy. But what we're talking to them about is we're trying to show them our vision to help them meet their challenges that they have moving forward, whether it's in the Western Pacific or whether it's in the Atlantic side of the world. We're trying to have that conversation, so if we're on the right track, we know it, and we can continue to invest in that capability to get them where they need to go.
Are you getting consistent demand signals from the Navy and from the Coast Guard?
I think, first of all, the budget environment's been pretty hard for them. Yeah. So, you have to take that into consideration.
Continuing resolutions.
Yeah, that's hard for any program manager. And, not to get off track on the question, but we made it a point to partner with them to help them, push through these CRs. But to your question about are we getting clear demand signals, I think over the past 2 years, the demand signals have become clearer. We got the CNO's NAV plan that he put out. And also, last year, they shifted from the large unmanned surface vessel vision to the small, where they can experiment. And Task Force 59 came out of that whole discussion and the whole way the CNO decided that the Navy was going to go. So I think that's been good, and I think it's sending a clear signal to industry where to invest our dollars, because it's important to know, if I have $1 more to invest in, where would you like it to go, and where can I put it to meet your need? That's important for us to hear that.
Is L3Harris building particular systems, vessels, or are you building the systems that go on those unmanned ships?
You know, we introduced ourselves a few years ago as the trusted disruptor, and also we wanted to be the non-conventional sixth prime. You know, what does that mean? That means we don't build ships. That's a tough business, and we have great shipbuilders here in the U.S. We don't build, you know, for the most part, we don't build airplanes. But we want to put the mission systems on those ships, airplanes, and submarines that make them effective and make them able to meet the demand signals that the Navy has, you know, overseas and forward. So that's And to your question about what are we competing on, you know, I think you probably know this, but the Spectrum program, we're competing on that. The award is, the customer said the award was probably going to be made in the first quarter of this year, maybe April. You know, sort of first
coming
quarter.
Up soon.
Yeah, coming up soon. That's an important program. That's an important system. And we're also putting our hat in the ring to compete with the others for the ASX. The recapping the submarine tenders, important capability.
Yep.
So we're again not building the ship, but we want to be adding those things to it that make it an effective platform. And I think we are partnered with Fincantieri, Marionette.
Yep.
On FFG 62, and that's been a really strong partnership for us. I think we built a really good relationship with them, and it's important to make sure that they can deliver that capability to the Navy on time.
So, are you doing on Constellation? Is it combat systems integration? Is it systems integration? What's the main business for L3Harris?
It's a little bit of systems integration, not the combat system. That's a big thing.
Yeah.
Those are the Lockheeds and the Raytheons for now that capture that business. But we're providing some networking capability, some topside integration capability, and also a little bit of machinery control pieces. So it's a scattered, but we've combined it, and we're managing it under one program manager so that they have a touch point to a senior person inside of L3Harris for all these things. So that's a change we've made organizationally to make sure that they know who to go to, and they're not going to 5 different program managers in the company.
Gotcha. One of the topics, I'm sure it's going to come out here at SMA, but it was definitely present. It was, if not the overriding topic at the Submarine League event back in the fall, was the challenges with industry, challenges with the industrial capacity of the United States, right? In particular, that was shipbuilding. Some of the major limiting factors that they were talking about were things like, trained and skilled welders and electricians and plumbers. And so I'm just curious, from you're a systems integration company. But where are the shortfalls? Where are the challenges on the industry side from L3Harris's perspective in terms of skilled workers, in terms of hiring enough people? What's happening with your company in that sphere?
Yeah, what? Not surprising. It's not a unique challenge for L3Harris.
Right.
I mean, everybody's got the same challenge to find the right, competent, technical people, whether they're engineers or welders, as you say, because I think COVID put a stick in everybody's spokes, right? And really kind of highlighted the fact that now we may not be able to get the talent that we want. And so, to alleviate that, we're looking for to have more visibility into our suppliers and to work with them. So to create the tools inside of our company, so it's easier for them and it's easier for us to be able to engage them and to plan ahead, because supply chain issues have really impacted the entire industry. To be able to do those things. And I think going forward, as we develop these partnerships more thoroughly, more deeply with our suppliers, as well as with the primes that we're supporting, I think you'll start to see a more effective acquisition process for the Navy, meaning down into the industry, and we'll be able to deliver on time.
Okay. Last question, and you just brought up the acquisition process.
Yes.
From an industry perspective, how could that be improved, either by DoD or by or by Congress? If you had a wish, one wish.
One wish, make it go faster. I think being able to demonstrate our capabilities and our technologies to the customer, I think that's an important step to be able to go faster in acquisition. I really do, because the customer is able to see what you have and to evaluate it. And honestly, if I always tell the customers this when we're trying to work with them to get to a demonstration is, hey, let us fail fast, or let us succeed, and we'll get out of the way, or we'll know where to put our money to invest in. So I think that the whole demonstration process is important. That's why IMEX and Digital Horizon, we were so keen to participate in those exercises, because we won the MUSV program. But not everybody has seen the autonomy, our autonomy at work on the vessel, or within, as we put together the mission systems. So that's why I think that demonstrations are important.
So I'm going to ask one more question, because to that point, out there in Bahrain, Task Force 59, the demonstrations that you just mentioned, will those lead quickly to an acquisition, or will they lead to a program milestone? Like, what comes next after that?
That's a fair question. We're not sure what the next step is. I know that we're going to continue to engage with Task Force 59. And, frankly, we continue to engage with the N9s and TAC Fleet, and the innovators with them as well. So we'll see how, where it takes us. And I think, it's not. I was just talking to an old acquaintance of mine in another company, and he was wondering the same thing. It's like, when is it going to lead to, the final markers put down on this is where we're going for this capability. So, I'm not only thinking about this; our industry partners are thinking about it.
Of course. Well, my guest has been John VanBraBant. He is say your title again.
Vice President of Maritime Mission Systems Requirements.
Maritime Mission Systems Requirements. We're here at SNA. John, I hope this is a great show for L3Harris.
Bill, I appreciate the opportunity to come on.
Great to meet you.
Thanks for the time.
That wraps up another episode of the Proceedings podcast, brought to you by Blue Cross Blue Shield FEP Dental. I can't help myself from smiling right now. That's because I have Blue Cross Blue Shield FEP Dental. I pay no deductible for in-network services. In-network preventive care is fully covered, including 3 cleanings a year, and plans start as low as $20 a month. Learn more at bcbsfepdental.com. If you enjoy the show, like us, subscribe to our channel, tell your friends, become a member at usni.org/join. And until next week, remember, victory begins at the Naval Institute.